Good morning, everybody. Uh, Welcome to the zipForm Plus training class today at 9:30. My name is Ling Chow, and it's Monday at 9:30 for the zipForm class. So a little bit housekeeping today. I'm sure you guys can see me, right? Because I can't see you guys once I go into host. My computer is kind of acting up with me. So today we are going to start with zipForm Basic from 9:30 to roughly about 11 o'clock in the 11 o'clock, and we're going to take a 10 minutes break. We're going to come back, and then the second portion of the meeting is going to be talking about we're going to talk about the digital signature, the DocuSign, the digital ink signature, touch sign, all that wonderful thing that everybody likes to learn. So if you're a beginner, I highly suggest you stay the whole meeting. If you're a seasoned agent, just want to find out how to do the zipForm digital ink and touch sign, you can come back about 11 o'clock. We'll be happy to let you in again. So I see some familiar faces, names actually, of most of you here, and welcome. And repeat people here too as well. So let me, I understand there was orientation, so there must be some brand new people here. The zipForm Plus is a member benefit that CER has provided to all Realtor members. If you're not a Realtor member and you want to get access to zipForm Plus, the cost a year is, last time I found out, was over $1,000. So this is something great for you. However, the zipForm has, CAR has sold zipForm to Lion Desk. So we are going to, we don't know when they start going to charge us again, maybe a couple years later, but as currently as now, we are definitely free. So if you're a member of CAR, NAR, and a local association, you can get access to this zipForm Plus. So zipForm Plus is a transaction forms that you can access online, that you don't have to go to association and purchase. You can if you want, but right now, if you use the online portion, it's all free. And some people ask, can I print it out? If you print it out without anything on it, it's a sample. So every form will have across the forms is sample only, sample only, sample only. Can you let other people use it? I highly recommend you don't do that. It's kind of, it's something that you pay for. If somebody else never become a realtor and wants access to your form, you really giving them a benefit that you have and you pay for and they did not. Okay, so I think that best to do is don't share your zip form with someone else. And the other thing that you probably use if you're a brand new agent is the CRMS. So where we search for our online multiple listings and how you go in and put up your listing. I will highly, for the new agents, I will highly recommend you take some class on CRMS, which our association offer quite often. So starting this year, after this COVID in March, we have switched most of our classes, I'm sorry, all of our classes to Zip meeting and Zip webinar. So I think this is gonna be the last zipForm class for the year. We'll pick up again in January. So let's start. Are you guys ready with me? I usually start with cer.org. This is where I go. I like to come in from here, and I can't move my, here you go. Okay, so for the new ones, you have to go into the left, right top says sign in. So I'm gonna click that. If you're new to cer.org, you have to register. So you have to come here to the, I hope you guys can see all my screen, right? So it's register. I'm going to click on it. So you need to look up your member record. You need to know your NAR ID and last name. So what's a NERD number? NERD is a NAR member number that we, NAR give you. CER used to give us a number. I have that, but I think the new agents only have one number. It's a NERD number now. And our local association with our Western Gable board, we have a number for you too. So in a new agent, you're going to have so many numbers. You're going to have the DRE real estate license number. You're going to have your local association number, and you're going to have the NERD ID number. So how do you look up NERD ID number if you don't have one in hand? There's a couple ways of doing it. One is you come here, he says, find your NERD ID. Okay, so you can go in and says, select the recover method into your last name, your email address, the email address that you sign up when you register with us, okay, with the Western Gable board, and your last name, your real estate license number. And the last one is that you can find your NER number on your Realtor magazine, or if you ever have a NAR membership ID number, ID card, you will have it there. I don't think they issue that automatically anymore, but you can always go to realtor.org, and from there you can find your request ID copy. If you can't, all of this doesn't work. If all of this, enter your last name by email, enter your last name by real estate license number, or go on your magazine and find your realtor number, call our association. Our association can help you as well. Or on the bottom, if you can see the screen, it says member support. You have a 1-800-874-6500, and you can call them and ask them for your NER number. Okay, if everything fell and you can't get into anybody to help you with a NER number. Okay, since I have my NER number already and I have registered, I'm gonna sign in. You put your username, you create a username, you create your password, you sign in. So once you sign in here, you can see that there's a lot of information buried in this website. You really have to do, let your finger do the walking, okay? You have Transaction Center, you have Learn and Thrive, Industry 360, your CR. So let's go into Transaction Center. And here you're gonna have the Lone Wolf zipForm edition, the Lone Wolf Standard, Forms Library, Zip CRM, and Service Provider. And there's information about electric signatures, form, advisor tutor, standard form. Oh my God, my finger is too heavy today. Okay, and broker services and support. So see, we sold it to Lone Wolf, and I'm sorry, I said Lone Desk, too early for me on Monday morning. So Lone Wolf is now the owner of zipForm. zipForm is a nationwide, okay? It's not just California. So remember that it's throughout the United States. And I don't know how to move this down, but there is a lot more things up here: business tool, risk management, helpline. So if you guys want to play with this, you're welcome to. There's a lot more information, legal questions, consumer RPA summary, disclosure chart. Anything you want to hear is here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the homepage. When you want to go back to homepage, all you have to do is click California Association of Realtor here. Someone also asked me in the past, and I want to clarify that we're not teaching forms today. We're just teaching how to use zipForm Plus. Okay, so this is not a form class. So to access your transaction zipForm is here. On the left, I'm going to click in, says zipForm edition. So it's going to validating my membership. So here we have continue to transaction on the bottom right, on the yellow. I'm going to click it. So they're going to my forms right now. Just to let you guys know, Monday morning is usually slow because everybody is busy over the weekend and Monday morning gets too much traffic. So here is my zipForm Plus. Let's go over icon by icon with you guys so you guys know where we are, okay? If you need question, you're welcome to text it in chat and I'll try to see it. If I don't see it, I'll pick it up when we go to break or come back or go over the questions on the first section of our class. Okay, so on the top, you can see there's a shopping cart. Okay, if you put your little mouse on it, it tells you it's a shopping cart. It's not showing here. Okay, here's the list flash. List flash is not free. If you guys are interested to purchase something like this, it's setting up, it's telling, it's like a advertising for your listings or finding out what other people have. You can set up your zip code by zip code, or you show all by city, whatever you want. Let's say I set up Temple City, 91780 is Temple City. Within 50 miles, the people who have joined this particular app at a price will automatically send out their listing information to people who subscribed. Okay, so only it really is like a communication or advertising between agents. And it's a fee to it. I don't know how much it is, but there is a fee to it. You're welcome to join. I think you have any question, you can always go here. Price, that's something else. Preference, here it is, preference. So you're welcome to find out a little bit more later if you like to join, purchase something like this. I have all the icons in front of me, so I had to move them. The shopping cart we're going to talk about a little bit later, okay? And here is two hands shaking hands with each other. It's called Bulletin. So here we'll have information from your zipForm Plus company and tell you that you can get some kind of information from them. It's like a news article. And here is a big me. I'm going to come back. And here is, there's a zip CRMA, and schedule a meeting. Elite agent. Elite agent is also another membership you have to pay for it. So let's say we want to change things. You want to make sure you add things onto it. You go to me. There's a little arrow here. We're going to open it up. Okay, I'm going to move this little icon outside. Okay, so here we are. We have me, my email. You can add your picture if you want. You go to your photos and you could put a picture up there if you like, okay? I'm gonna cancel. And here it says profile and setting. I'm gonna open up, okay? Don't click sign out. If you click sign out, you're out. I upgrade my Mac and now I can't see anybody anymore. I don't know what is going on with Mac. Okay, here we go. We have about me, signing, security, office, form, product, setting, notification settings, assistant transaction coordinator. So here is about me. So you're gonna put your name, it's actually there for you already, okay? Your telephone number, your extension, your fax number, and your DRE license number. And the email signature, if you open it up, why do I put this here? Because sometimes your email go out from the zipForm Plus. If you don't select your email address, it will go out from ZipLogic. So from going out to ZipLogic, your client would not know who you are, how to get back to you, right? So you need to let them know you're the one who's sending it. You're on the email. On the bottom of the email says it's from Ling Chow, my telephone number, my email address, and my DRE number, right? So first contact, you have to have your DRE number and everything. So this way the client will know, okay, even though it's from ZipLogic, but it's from Ling Chow or whoever your name is. So client would have a way to come back and contact you. Okay, when you do that, make sure you save. If you don't save it, it's gone, okay? All that is wasted. Whatever you type in, it's gone. So make sure every time you do something change, you must save it here, only here, okay? And signing security, don't change anything. I tried the two-factor one, drive me a little bit kind of nuts. So I turn it off because it gets a little crazy for me. If you like it that way, security account recovery information, well, you're welcome to do that, okay? But for me, I thought it was kind of mind-boggling for me. So let's say you're changing office and you're going from Coa Banker to KW. Do you go to KW and says, hey, manager, can you help me change my zipForm information to the office right now? And when you ask that, the manager probably say, oh, you probably don't know about zipForm. So here it is that you're going to change. Every time you change, it says, why do we need to do that? Why do we need to keep on changing our office information? Because update company information that appears on your form below. So on the first page of all your used to be on every page, they changed that to only the first page of your contract. On the bottom will have your company name, the address, the contact information. Why is it important, you ask? Well, let's say you're moving from Coa Banker to KW and you're writing an offer and it still shows up KW, or let's say a listing. Okay, you're getting a listing, you're selling a house. So you're writing a listing contract and the bottom still shows Coa Banker and everybody signed it, right? So it's gonna get confusing. This listing goes to Coldwell Banker or does it go to KW of your current company? Do you want to get everybody confused? Because right now you're saying that you're still with Coldwell Banker, but yet you're KW. So to make the whole thing less confusing, I'm sure they can also go to dre.org to check your license where you belong. But on the contract, it still shows Coldwell Banker. So it is important that every time you move to another company, make sure you change your information, okay, of your company. So all you do is just change it here, click it, and change to KW, Keller William. And of course, you're gonna save it, right? So that's what you're gonna do and make sure you do that, okay? I see we only have 25 people today. So sad. Okay, so the next one is forms. For the new people, the brand new agents, you can see that I have these forms that already checked in. How did I do that? So we're gonna go to shopping cart here. Here's a couple places. One is shop here. If you see my mouse, is shop and shopping cart. So if we go to shopping here, shopping cart, or both places works. Okay, on your product, go in, you have to click, like say, if I want to buy the forms, okay, so we talked about, for the new one, you have others, because I have already selected what I have already. If you guys see that, click all the, I usually do, the first thing I do is click all the free ones so I don't have to pay anything. But if you want to have pay other things like the CAR distress property forms library, you can add to cart. If you're a Fannie Mae person, you do a lot of Fannie Mae, there's forms required by Fannie Mae. You purchase that for $24.95. We talked about the Lone Wolf Elite Agent that was right here. Remember? Okay, it's right here. That is also quite expensive for a year. We're talking about all year, $249. If you do a lot of commercial, and when you deal with commercial agent, they don't want CAR forms, they want AIR forms. So where do you go to purchase that? You come here and purchase it. So some people ask me, why do we purchase here for $199 when I can purchase at AIR website? This is an unlimited use for a year. The AIR website is, you purchase a token. You have to, every form costs a couple tokens. So you have to buy the token in order to use the forms. So if you write up several contracts, every token, every form is a couple tokens. So it used up pretty quickly, okay? The AIR commercial forms is right here for $199 annually. So if you're doing commercial and the commercial agent says, send me an AIR form, so you know where to purchase it, right? Right here at our CAR zipForm place. And open house forms is $49.95. If you're an Oregon agent, you can add this for free. And these worldwide ERC for $69.95. I don't know really that is about. I think it has to do if you're doing a lot of international transaction, they might have some forms that would help you. And that would be $69.95. Like I said before, zipForm Plus is a statewide, statewide. So if you want to buy other forms, you're welcome to do that. If you're not you're not their state agent and their realtor member, you cannot use them. So I am in California only, and I select California. So our license does not cross state. So we can only sell California real estate. So once you finish checkout, add to cart, you proceed to checkout, and you put in your, if it's free, they don't ask you for credit card. But if you're buying something with cost on it, they will do that. They will ask you for a credit card. There's also a zipForm record connect. In addition, Zapper, we'll tell you about it later. Elite again is $249. So are you guys okay with the shop where to find all your forms? Okay. So a couple places you can find. So, and I want to double check. I want to tell you guys something. If you guys see that, it says expiration date is Tuesday, March 30th. So next year, March 30th, they will ask you to click that you are still agent. Okay, if to double check again, so they will renew your forms for you. But if you decided not to be a realtor before that, you will be gone already. You couldn't touch this anyway. Okay, so every year by March 30th we renew. The forms that you pay, let's say AIR was $199. They prorate. They don't. If you're buying it now, they'll prorate the months. So you don't have to. You don't have to pay $199 if you're paying it now. So it's not that you're gonna pay $199 from today's date till next November. It's not. Okay, so they're gonna prorate the months that's left within the year for you, which I think is pretty reasonable. And next year, if you decided you're not doing AIR forms again, you don't have to renew, right? So whenever you sign up for all the payment that you guys are looking at is prorated. Okay, I'm gonna make sure you save it, okay? And I'm gonna go to product. Product is something that we have. I'm gonna show you. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, because we don't do zipForm standard anymore. I'll tell you a little bit where to get that zipForm standard. So what is the zipForm standard different from the zipForm Plus? So the zipForm standard is on your desktop. You can download it into your computer, okay? And you can use it on your computer. But you have to download every computer if you want to use it. That means you don't go online. You just go on your computer. It's downloaded to your computer. You can work on it. But you have to constantly update forms. You have to try to get new forms yourself. And let's say I'm working on my home desktop and I'm going to my office and I just finished writing an offer on my desktop. So I go to my office, I turn on my office zipForm standard, which I also downloaded on my office computer. But what I worked at home, because it's on that computer, it will not show up on my office computer. So how can you make it show up? You have to sync it. You have to tell them to sync all my computers, all my computers before you can do that. So it's kind of something that we as zipForm, we want to go away with. But every time we try to say, oh, we don't offer a zipForm standard anymore, somebody always says, some member always say, no, I really like it. I want to download because my internet is not stable. I feel like I have to work on it and I want to work at home without an internet. So it's been lingering on every year. I don't know when they're going to go away, but one day they will go away. So zipForm Plus is working online on internet, right? So as long as you log in car.org, there's a couple places you can log in. car.org, sometimes you can log in from CRMS if you set up correctly. And also our Weston Gilbert website, you can log in 3 places. If you log in and worked online, no matter what computer you work on, as long as you can log in online, all your forms are there. It's going to be there on the mobile. If you're using smart tablets like an iPad or a Samsung smart tablet or any smart tablet, on your cell phone, if you have it on your cell phone, it'll be here. So you don't have to sync it. You don't have to let computer talk to computer. It's automatically done for you. We believe that in the future, that's how it's going to be. And I highly recommend all of you using zipForm Plus. Standard is, it will go away. It just depends on when. Every time we try to do that, we get requests, don't do that. So it's been lingering. Okay, so Vault, I'm going to show you where we're going to get all this. We're going to go to settings, okay, and I'll tell you about all this. So Digital Ink 2.0 is something, right now is actually, we have 2. We have a Digital Ink, regular ink, and then Digital Ink 2.0. 2.0 is going to be live in December 2nd. So Digital Ink 1.0 is going to go away. So Digital Ink 2.0 is going to be live in December. It's live now, but it will be only one for you guys to use is Digital 2.0, and Digital 1.0 is going to go away. And the DocuSign, if you have signed up for DocuSign, you're welcome to use that. Of course, DocuSign is not free. DocuSign has a DocuSign subscription, and on this particular zipForm, you can look at it. It's about 240, I think 220 or 240 a year. But you can go to NAR website, which is realtor.org. I think there's a discount there. I think there's a discount for you guys. I don't know how much it is, but you're welcome to check it out. So if you have a promotion code, sometimes you belong to a large company, they have a deal with DocuSign. You may get it cheaper from your company. Some company has that, like maybe Berkshire Hathaway, Compass, Remax. I don't know who has it, but I'm just naming out some larger company. Check with your manager, your broker manager, see if you guys have a discount promotion code. Okay, so Digital Ink 2.0 is going to be the way that they want, they're going to use it from now on. Landing screen. Okay, it's dashboard. You can do transaction list, you can do dashboard. Transaction preference, okay, 5-line, high global navigation bar while transaction. This is something new. If you want to do that, you're welcome to. Zapper, okay, all this is very applied broker agent information, whatever. They put in new things all the time. Anyway, Zapper is not cheap, okay. Nothing is cheap. I'm a cheap person. I just go for all free stuff. Oh, very interesting. Page not found. Okay, Zapper is another service. So if you guys want to use that, you're welcome to find out a little bit more. It's not working today. Link to my other transaction zipForm edition account. If you have another one, you're welcome to link it. Some people have different state license, and they might have Nevada, Arizona. They can link it if they want to. Current signature single sign-on link. I have removed link, and I used to be a teacher for a realtor property resources, RPR. Okay, and then we also have moving service integration, enable updater integration. I don't know what that is. They always give me something new and they don't let me know. Chat login, insurance. So all this is something that new. Okay, so we have notification settings. Okay, all right, okay. They tell me I have to save it. Let me save it. Okay. So you can have email on in app notification, send notification 3 days before, send notification 3 days after. Doc inbox. Okay, we have, I'll tell you what that is later on. Transaction. Click everything on, okay? So just make sure that you know it's on. So email every time new list flash is published. I get a lot of email from other agent of their listings. That signing up is free, but if you want to send, it's not free, okay? For list flash. If you have assistant or a transaction coordinator, you have to invite them, okay? So they can go in your zipForm. Okay, so that completes me. This is all about me, okay? So we're done with me. Okay, let's go back to dashboard. This is the new layout. So the new ones, brand new agent, you probably see this, but the old agent will probably see this. Okay, so some people prefer this one and some people prefer the new one. The new one is, this is it. So it pretty much tell you there is one signature package in progress, listing expired, retention, text close, transaction closed this month, retention period, and it also tells you my task due this week. You have, if you have set up, it'll tell you what's going on, and potential sell, active property listing, active transaction type, and recent activities, how many days ago, and active transaction type here. You can click it and you can open up, okay, and task not started. So this is the home page. From here, you can go into list flash, view form, you can e-signature, you can add a new transaction, put in a new contact, and you have tools. many different type of tools here. Okay. And also you have a little like a wheel going around here. You can also click that open. You can go back to the old layout. So we're going to do a transaction together. Are you guys okay to move forward? This is just a very simple introduction that took me a little longer than I want. I forgot to find a property for you guys so we can do it together. Okay. So you can start a new transaction here, or you can start it here. There's two ways of doing this, okay? So you maybe will want to start with transaction. Okay, this is my transaction that I'm working on. We have new forms, new. You can import, you can export, you can delete, you can check status, or you can go to RPR, or you have tools. If you click the tools, it's not opening for me, but it's okay. All right, so that's where the first line is. And we have all. You can separate from listing versus purchase. Okay, you can filter it. You can sort by most recent, oldest, created, date, last name, transaction ID, and all that. Or you can search by address if you like to put in address. And you can view my transaction share with me. Sometimes you have somebody you want to share a transaction with you. Again, we have the group by status. Okay. And right now I have it in every icon, little icon. You can change it to by line this way, or you can go back to a little cubicle that I prefer. Okay. So let's start a new one. I just saw a property that I would like to purchase for our AE Albertron. Okay. So here we are, we have the transaction information. Before we go back, as you see, we have new listing, new purchase or offer, a new lease, new lease listing, and quick sign. You can sign something quick. So if you have to, you have here for help, if you want to click here for help, okay? So we're gonna do a new purchase for Albertron. Albert doesn't know that he's buying a lot of property from me. So we're gonna put in, they ask you for a name, just enter the name or the property address. I personally like to do property address. So let's say if I'm purchasing, my client name is Albertron. Albertron could buy 10 property with me, but then do I put his name? Or be very confusing for me because I don't know which property we're talking about, or I can put in the property address. In this case, I prefer to put in the property address. So the property address is 224 West Leslie Drive. If it happened to be your listing, please understand this is just a make-believe offer. Okay, so I'm putting the address, the city, the state, and the zip code, my habit, okay? So you guys see this? It says MLS Connect, and then we have import property information from zipForm record, record connection, or you can put it, we're gonna put in category, what kind of category this property is. Is it a residential, industrial, multi-unit condo, commercial, vacant land, farm, manufactured home, co-op, unlisted other. So I'm gonna put it in residential. And status is active, right? The property is active. So I would like to do MLS Connect. For the new ones that just signed up, you will have to, they will ask you your MLS information and you just put it in and they'll connect to your MLS. So here we are, we have the MLS, which I belong to is the CRMS, and we all belong to CRMS. We're gonna find the property. we're going to find the property based on the MLS number on their listing. Okay, so the MLS listing ID is RS, Riverside, 2018-2122. So how do I know is Riverside is RS? Ours is our Western Gilbert is WS. If you're looking at Arcadia agents listing, it starts with AR. So every different association have their abbreviation for the first two letter. Pasadena does not belong to CRMIS. They belong to another multiple listing. So theirs is a little bit different, but usually start with PFAR. So we know it's Pasadena. Okay. So the first two letter is always the association that this listing agent belongs to. Do we want to include property photo? I do. And we're going to click find. Is that nice to have a picture of all the information of this particular property? Okay, and I'm going to say use listing. Okay, so we have the picture here, we have all the information. I'm going to click save. So you guys see all the information is here? Even the lot number, all that, and the listing agent's information is here too. So it's great because you can input the listing information of the listing agent when you send it to them. So this is the summary, right? You can click on parties. As you see, the listing information is here already. I am the selling agent, I'm the buyer's agent. Okay, so you can add your buyer one if you want here. Buyers one information. You can import their contact information. You can find it from your address book, or you can import from zipCRM or manage in zipCRM. It's a multi information. You can add the photo and who's signing behalf if it's a trust or an entity. You can add buyer 1, 2, 3, 4, seller 1, 2, 3, 4. We have Cindy, the listing agent. Her name is Ocha. A buyer lending company, seller lending company, escrow officer, attorney information, appraisal company, disclosure, home warranty, title, pest control, and others. That's if you want it. Okay, want to do. Oh, wait, hold on just a second. Let me go back to parties. So we have everything here. You can see buyer side, and this you can change it to line, or you can change it to cubicle. Okay, so let's go back. You can see that this particular listing is here. I think it's not showing up. Okay, so W224 West Leslie is here. If you look at the little icon here, if you click it open, it tells you the address, the created about 2 minutes ago, update 1 minute ago. Retention date is Tuesday, November 23rd, 2027. So how many years from today? 7 years. 7 years. This form will be here on zipForm for 7 years. If you have consistently be with as a realtor for this long, you will have the forms here. What happened if 7 years come around? It will notify you, say you have forms that has to be deleted. Maybe you want to export to archive on your own computer. Okay, let's go back here. Or you don't care about it, you want to take it out. So as licensee, You're supposed to retain your form for, since I don't see you face to face, I'm going to tell you the answer. 3 years, right? But attorney and some office will like you to keep the form for 5 years. We are giving you 7 years. But it's always good to export to your own, maybe another hard drive, just to keep a record of it. Okay. So that's called a vault. Okay. That's called our zipForm vault. Vault is large enough to save you all the files, all the home inspection, the escrow instruction, whatever you guys feel you want to save it in there. It may be photos of the property or a video clip of the property or a song that reminds you of transaction, how to go. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you feel like this is a transaction from hell that you're having a hard time with? You can save anything you want. It's unlimited storage, okay, on this particular transaction. We don't have a limit, okay? So you can have open transaction detail, you can copy, you can save as a template, you can delete. Once your delete is gone, you can import from an archive, you can export from archive, you can lock it. Why do we have that? Because if you belong to a company that has zipForm Broker Edition, your maybe your manager, broker, and transaction coordinator can go in. You don't want them to see it, or you don't want anybody to see it. So you can lock it, okay? Show form version, send from other system, go to Realty Property Resources. You can calculate your net sheet. You can transaction facts cover. You can form advisory, form tutor. So remember, you have 7 years of retention. Let's say if you guys are leaving, you're going to leave, you feel that this is not a right place for me. I am not a realtor. I'm not good at this. I think that I am going to quit. But I have done a couple deals. Best do is before you stop, become a realtor or move out as a from real estate professional, export before you say bye-bye. Because once you say goodbye, you don't get to access your zipForm anymore, right? They will lock you out. So make sure you do that. You export all your files out, okay? Remember that, because sometimes we don't remember everything. Okay. So let's go into our purchase agreement that we want to buy that Albert doesn't know. Okay, here we have document, checklist, note, history, marketplace. I'm not going to marketplace. My thing is too sensitive. Okay, we're gonna come to all forms. You guys see that? I'm gonna click all forms. I'm gonna move this. I have this little thing here. Okay, so this is called the form library. Remember we were shopping and we downloaded a lot of things, mostly free for me, right? So this is all the forms I have downloaded, okay? I have the California Association of Realtors forms. I have the American Home Shield forms. I have the Financial Helpline Library, and I have the CAR sample letters. So here is some legal letters that real estate agent requested from CAR. So in case before you ask attorney to help you write a letter, maybe you want to look at this. You have abandoned personal property in commercial, abandoned personal property in residential. You want to go into the premises letter. Sometimes you want to tell the tenant, I need to go in. So here is the letter saying, hey, I have formally request to go in. Acknowledgement of non-tenancy, what is it? Can't see it now. The form, okay, here it is. Non-tenancy from third party, okay? Acting against broker advice to buyer, acting against broker advice to seller. All of these forms are free to you. So before you ask somebody else to write a letter, maybe you want to check your library. Okay, risk failure to close, security deposit, return. Sometimes you have problem. People don't like to return. You want to cancel. They don't want to return your security deposit. Maybe you want to write them a letter. And here's the letter. Okay, seller breach of listing letter and all this. Okay, so you're welcome to come in and check every forms that you like and see if it fits your need. If it doesn't fit your need, then you can always ask for help with attorney. So we have multiple listing forms, right? Right now we have a seller introduced to place into CRMS. It's a new form, I guess. I never used that. But anyway, that is something I'm going to delete later. Okay, here we have EPUB, the California EPUB. So why does people think that, oh, why do I need this for? Because we need, you remember, if the home is an older home, I think it's built in, I always forget, it was 1960 something. Monday is not good for me, okay, guys? Okay, here you go. Let me open it up. Is it open? Let me move this out. Earthquake guide, right? So we need to give him an earthquake guide, safety guide. And for the one that has been seasoned, been in real estate, remember we had to give them a booklet. You no longer need to give them a booklet because you can send them this one. I think it's 1960. I can't remember. I haven't taken my ginkgo this morning for my brain. Age is catching up on me. So you can just send them this form as a listing agent. This is the listing agent's requirement to send out this booklet to the other agent, and then make sure they sign it, because I think there's a signature portion. I don't think here it is, but it comes, here it is, that you have to send them. They have to sign it and send it back to you, okay? If the property is an older property. Okay, let's go back to our lovely forms. So homeowner guide signature, right? You need that. And including commercial as well, commercial guide disclosures. All the wonderful, interesting forms are here. So I always have agent ask me, where do I find that booklet? It's here on EPUBs, okay? So we have foreclosure prevention library, home guard, home warranty, NAR forms. Why do we have NAR forms? Because we have other things that's here for our NAR. And we have the NAR realtor form. And I think there was also, there used to be DRE forms here. They took it out. I don't know what happened to it. But there's San Francisco Association of Realtors. If you're doing deal up in San Francisco, just remind yourself they are a little bit different on forms. They have their own requirement on forms. So make sure you download free forms for yourself. Okay. So here we are. We have the California Association of Realtor form. You can search by name. Okay. You can always search by like real estate listing. So you can see all the things that are coming up. Or you can search by name. So if somebody says to you, hey, Ling, send me a RR or RRRR. What is RRRR? You don't know what RRR means, right? So all you have to do is type here RRRR. It's really a seller response and buyer reply to repair requests. Don't ask me who come up with this kind of abbreviation. I really don't know. But you can always say, hey, okay, I'll send you one. So don't ask the agent what is that form, because they know if you ask, they know you're a rookie, okay? And also one of the required form, of course, is TDS. And TDS is real estate transfer disclosure statement. Okay, so all this is all here. You just have to type in. You can search by all by A to Z or Z to A, or you can search by form numbers. Remember we talk all the wonderful names of the forms that I don't even know who started it, but here it is. Okay, and go back to A to Z. And here you can search by all forms, all the forms that you possible need. You don't need all of them, okay? You might need some of them, but you don't need all of them. But how do you know? Do we go by all or do we go by no category, back office, COVID leases, COVID sale, commercial, disclosures, update from June 20th, lease? Are you doing only a lease? This is all the form that you must possibly need. Listing forms, miscellaneous form. If you're doing property management, what do you have? You have purchase, you have vacant land. Since Albert is buying, so I'm going to click purchase. The two forms that I like to, before I start, is a cover sheet. And the other one is a residential purchase agreement. Without this, there's no agreement, right? As you see, computer is a little bit slow. No question today, huh? You guys are so good. Okay. It's still spinning. Loves to spin. I do have a very fast internet connection at home because I have no patience to wait. So this is not my computer. It is, it's not my internet. It is from zipForm. They're over. Which ginkgo I'm taking? I think the ginkgo I'm taking is not good enough. Okay, I'm still like have memory blocks. Any ginkgo. Okay, they finally downloaded my form. So let's see what it looks like. Let's go back. Okay, I don't need the seller instruction to place to CRMS, and so I'm going to delete it. You see the little arrow going down? We can open, archive, delete, preview, print, save as PDF, download, sign, move, send, attach a task. So I'm going to delete it. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do cover sheet. Every transaction, I like to do a cover sheet. Some people don't like it. I do. Okay, so I'm going to, my eyesight is also not as good. So as you can tell, I'm not anymore. I'm not young anymore. Yes, I'm going to show you template after 11 o'clock. Okay, so I'm going to do full screen. So my my buyer name is Mr. Albertron. If you guys know, he is our EO. He is our manager for the whole association. I'm going to mark X. When you mark an X, so every time that Albert needs to sign, there will be an X. And green is always the buyer and red is always the seller. So I'm going to add Albert's email address, which is my email address, because if it's sent to him, I would never see it. Okay. So you can also put in Albert's contact information, Albert's address if you like. But the most important thing is we need his email address because he has to do DocuSign, right? And always put in the seller's name if you know the seller's name. Do your research, okay? You can always find out the seller name on the CRMS, on the real list tax, or you can go to title and find out what the seller's name. And when you do that, put their name in. Okay, they appreciate that, by the way, if you do that. Here it is. So red is always the seller. remember we have input from CRMS. And so here it is, all the information from the listing. And I have my information, my company, and I don't know why it never picked up my company DRE number and also my DRE number. But it picked up the listing agent's information. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, so here's the, so you see that we have, because we import from the CRMS, we have the company name is in Long Beach, and the listing agent's contact information, her email address. Why is this important? Because it show up on page 10 of our RPA. And all this is here if you have anything you want to put in. So this is my cover sheet, okay? I'm gonna go out and save automatically. You don't have to worry. It does save by itself. And I just want to remind you guys, this is a software. It's not perfect. It has a little glitch here and there. So if you have any problem, you're always welcome to call zipForm, okay? Don't call me, call zipForm. So we have full screen because I like full screen. Okay. So remember we talked about where Albert is signing, okay? And remember we talked about the company information. It's all showing up on this page, on page 1. And we have the page 1 of the RPA. And on page 10, all our information shows up here, right? Again, my information didn't show up. It just doesn't like me very much. Okay, my DRE number is here. So when you have this all done, you know, listing agent appreciate you. Okay, they don't have to print it out or fill it in themselves. If you have the seller information, the seller name will be here already. So right now I only have Albert, and you see that seller needs to initial here because it's in the red, and every page will have buyer and seller with a little X. That's only happens if you do it at cover sheet. If you don't do it at cover sheet, it doesn't happen. Okay. So let's go into the fun part of our transaction. Did I lose anybody yet? Did I make anybody fall asleep yet? Okay. So on the purchase contract, we have enclosed for you, because a lot of people seem to forget, that you have to have a disclosure regarding the real estate agent relationship. So that is included in your RPA purchase contract. And also included in the RPA is the Fair Housing and Discrimination Advisory Form. And this is very new. This has just happened in October of 2020. So here's the form name, and here's the date that the form was created. Okay, so there was a lot of talk about fair housing. So this is something that we have to say, hey, you know, we're good people. Okay, just let you guys know we're good. We don't discriminate. So buyer and seller has to sign it, and each other could not discriminate each other, so they know the rules. And possible representing of more than one buyer or seller disclosure and consent. This is included for you to cover your back, because if I'm going to write this offer, this property for Albert, does that mean I cannot write this offer for Fawn? With this form, I can write for Fawn, I can write it for anybody, many multiple buyers. Okay, and to the seller too, saying that I could represent a buyer. Okay, you can do dual agency. So this is important. Make sure that everybody signed this form. The seller, the buyer, you, the listing agent, everybody is on the same page. Okay, the wire fraud and electronic funds transfer advisory. This is also to cover your back. It says that do not ever wire or electronically transfer funds prior to calling to confirm the transfer instruction. Only use a phone number you were provided previously. Do not use any different number or account number included in any email transfer instruction. Why do we need that? Because one time we were sued. A real estate agent was sued because he or she was giving out from the escrow and transferred to the buyer to wire funds into escrow. And between the email, his email were hacked. An account number was changed. The buyer wired the funds into somebody else's account, and it was a large sum of money because it was the down payment. So the agent got sued because the agent's email was hacked. Okay, so this will cover you saying that, hey, don't wire before you call and verify. So this is something that CER put in for you. Okay, so here is the form, the wonderful form that we are going to buy a property for Albert. So we're going to put in the prepare date. Today, the 23rd. And the property is selling for, I think it was 960,000. We're going to get, 970,000. Okay, 970,000 is what we're going to give her. And you can put in escrow. Why am I filling this in? Because if I don't fill it in, they won't let me print. They won't let me send out. You don't have a fully executed contract. I mean, fully filled out contract, not executed, I'm sorry. So they won't let you take it out. Okay, so we're gonna close and we're gonna make her happy. We're gonna close in 7 days. And Taylor Realty represent the seller, and Cindy represent the seller, is the seller's agent, and I am the buyer's agent. So I'm gonna click that. Okay. So you guys see, all you have to do is click, 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 and initial deposit is going to be 30,000. I have to fill this in, or else Albert cannot sign this. Okay. So it's going to be, if it's going to be all cash, if you click all cash here, you see all the loan information are wiped out. That means you don't have any loan. You can't fill in anything. But if it's not an all cash offer, if you unclick it, it can type in, is it VA or is it a FHA or anything that you want to put in here. But once you click is all cash, all this is gone. You guys see that? Okay. So we have up here, we're not going to talk about the e-signature, the MIS Connect or Record Connect. If you click save, it's going to be saved. You go back to normal is normal. If you print, you can print this form. You can print multiple form. You can print a sample form. So like I said, if you print sample form, everything is going to be sample, 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 sample. Okay, but you can always print this form. You can send this form via email. Okay. Who you want to email? They ask you, do you want to email to Albert, me, or Cindy? So if you're okay, you can also get it from Zip CRM contact, the zipForm contact, and service provider, top producer, Google contact, Microsoft contact, Yahoo contact. But once you do that, you have to understand that everything would input. It's a little bit crazy. So just type in whatever you want. Okay, or you can search. You can search by A to Z, whatever the name you want to do. But let's just say I'm gonna, for a showing case, I'm just gonna put myself. We're gonna put done. Okay, so you can do by, because I did the Gmail with them. Sometimes people don't know it's coming from me, so I set up the Gmail. They'll ask you, or you can go by zipForm or Microsoft, because I have another account with Microsoft. So I like to do my own account from Gmail instead of from zipForm. zipForm, if you're coming in from zipForm, it's going to be ZipLogic. It's not coming from your email account. So a lot of time client would not know who it's from because it's coming from ZipLogic, and they will think it's a spam. They will spam it out. Okay. So you have a choice of doing that. Remember, we talked about the when we did the setup, I put my name, my telephone number, my email address, and my DRE number because it is first contact. So you have to put in the subject. And right now, I don't know who changed this, but you can't type anything until you click font. You have to decide what kind of font you want. Then you can type. Without clicking the font, it won't let you type anything. I don't know who changed that. Okay, don't ask me, but that happened. Then you have to select the font before you type. Okay, you can say, hey, I'm sending you something, and you can include the sticky note. You can attach a fax cover. You can copy me. Remember, if you're signing out from ZipLogic, from zipForm, okay, you better make sure you CC yourself because you won't get a copy and you cannot retrieve it, even from Gmail. So I think it's always best if whatever you send out to a client, make sure you copy me because I did it one time. I sent it out and there was something that was on there that I typed, I think was very important for me to keep a copy. And I can't find it. So I called zipForm and zipForm says, I'm sorry, it's sent. We don't have a copy. You don't have a copy because you didn't copy yourself. So I say, okay, thanks. Now I know. Okay. Record BombBomb video. I don't know what that is. I think you can record a video on here and put it there, maybe saying, hey, I'm sending you something. I haven't never used that. You can send out fax if your client are still in the fax age. Nobody ever send fax anymore, but if they're still requesting a fax, you can always send a fax in United States. You cannot send international faxes. So no fax outside the United States, okay? I hope you guys see, again, you can't type anything until you click font. Then you can type. Okay, so let me get out of here. I'm gonna cancel. Can't move the page. Here we go. I'm gonna cancel it out. So cancel. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we talked about print. We talked about sending, and then you can always save as a PDF. When you do that, you can save in transaction, or you can save it to your computer. A lot of people feel that they can't open our form because it's not in a PDF format. So you can always do that. Save it to your device, save it in transaction. You're welcome to do that, okay? Fast fill. So if you know your form really well, you don't need to read by line, you can always fast fill it this way. Okay? I'm going to go back to viewer. It's really slow. Not my internet, zipForm. You have to understand zipForm is nationwide. So how many realtors are using it right now? A lot. You know how many realtors are nationwide? Any guesses? I can sing to you guys all day long if this thing doesn't move faster. There you go. Okay. All right. So the next items that I want to let you guys know is the NA fill. A lot of people fill out the contract and they feel that there is still a lot of empty spaces and they're not comfortable. Like for instance, we didn't fill in the, because it's all cash offer. You might think that, hey, maybe somebody's gonna write something over it. If you feel, after you finish filling in all the things that you want to fill in and you feel, I don't want to leave it blank because I don't feel comfortable. You click the NA and you can say apply empty fields in current form will only fill the following text, NA. So once I click that, all the blank spot will have NA. You guys see that? So if you feel comfortable doing that, you're welcome to, okay? And you can remove it. Okay, so we just remove all the NA. And we have sticky note. Let's say you're sending your client a sticky note and you're saying, hey, please sign here. Or why is this term here? Like you can click the sticky note. You can say item number 6 is about, you know, something, something, something. You can do that. And if you want to do text in other languages, you could do that. It doesn't have to be English. If your setup can change to, like right now I have it in America, I can go into different type of writing. So you can also do that here. You can do as many sticky note. If you're a sticky note person, you want to put it everywhere, you're welcome to. And when you send it to your client, remember we have the one that says including sticky note. On here, it says including sticky note, you can do that. So you can add as many as you want, however you want, enjoy your sticky note, okay? You can preview. Preview. From preview, you can send, you can print, you can download, you can click description, you can ask, attach the text. So here is all the preview. Check your spelling because sometimes we type too fast and we miss the spelling. So it doesn't look good when you send it out. Make sure you always check your spelling. Interlet copy. I never used that. I can't see what I did. Okay. What does it come out? It's supposed to come out something. It never happened. I don't use that. I don't know what happened to it when you click it. Okay. I don't know. Okay, you can do highlight. You can highlight something. Like say I'm gonna, okay, yellow. It doesn't come out. Select, I did select some text. I did, you don't let me. So mostly you're supposed to select it and then you click the highlight, okay? But it's not working for me today. It hasn't been working for me for a while. I don't know what happened here. Okay, so you can highlight telling clients is, oh, this is appraisal contingency and we're removing it in 17 days. You can highlight that and let people know. So you're supposed to click the highlight, the words that you want to highlight first, and you come here and you click the color, and then you select some. I know, I can't select it. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to more. You can undo, you can redo, you can add photos. Okay, you can attach as many photos. This is really good if you're doing the AVID, the agent visual. So you can always look at the photos on that form, so you have an idea what you do, what you're saying. So you can always go into your, if you go click the photos, attach photos, and from your computer, you can find photos, right? So that's where you're gonna go for, because I have a lot of photos. I don't want to waste my time looking for those photos. Yes, you can send out with highlights. You know, if you don't have a color printer, the highlight will just be darkened. I don't know who JH is, but if you can send out the highlights, yeah, you could. But if the printer, if they're if they want to print it out, it's going to be just dark black. And if you send it out with highlight, they can see it too. So lookup field manager. Sometimes you have things that you want to put in. And the cities, you have a lot of cities. You can clear them all if you want to. That's something that you have typed a lot, like county. Like I always type whatever county it is. Like I put in Los Angeles County or versus Los Angeles. You can always take it out or save it. Okay, that's something that you keep on typing. And this is clause manager. So you can also ask your office, is there some kind of a clause that you want me to put in a certain area? You can always ask them to help you. Not many people put it in. Some people like it, some people don't. Okay, so you can always just say on TDS, there's a certain area you want to put certain things in it. You can put it in there just by type. See on the TDS, we always like to put in buyers to verify themselves, that type of thing. So you can always type it, you know, use that clause. Okay, so that complete this particular line item. Okay. So we're going to talk about, we have 8 more minutes before we go into break. So we're going to talk about the, later on, we will talk about the templates. Let me talk about we're going to talk about templates. You want to do it now? If we do it now, that'll be okay. I can also talk about document box. Let's spend the last 8 minutes talking about platelets because we're a little bit early. Okay, templates is something that you use. I'm going to take this out so you guys don't get confused. People like to, okay, I won't say people. Okay, let's say you're you want to know what is you need on the forms for a listing. Let's say I would highly recommend you to ask your manager, broker manager, if you have a list of what's required form for a listing contract. So let's say when you get the required form, or you can have somebody at your office help you, you want to create a template for a listing only. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new listing, okay? And you're going to enter the template name. Today I've been using KW, so let's do KW because I know that KW, a lot of our agents are KW. Okay, and we're gonna put it as a listing. And we're gonna do residential. If you have industrial, multi-unit, condo, whatever you need, you can do many, many templates, okay? We're gonna save it. Okay, so now we have a Keller Willing listing, but there's no forms inside. So here I'm gonna go add forms. Remember, we talked about going to your broker manager, ask, what do I need for a listing, right? So if you don't get that, maybe you want to try it this way, putting it as a listing on the form. Okay, so we're gonna have cover sheet. I love cover sheet, okay? We're gonna have a residential listing agreement because it's a residential property. So what else do we need? Maybe we need additional signature addendum. And do we need, we don't want cancellation of listing because we just got this one, right? So we probably, there's some Corona virus, coronavirus property entry advisory to the seller. We might need counter offer maybe later on, but what else do we need? Do we need okay, let me see. What else do we need? Do we need maybe a statewide advisory? There's also a transaction checklist somebody wanted back in January of 2006. Okay, this is a TC. Whatever the form that your company needs to close this transaction. And then, of course, seller needs to do a seller questionnaire, seller property questionnaire, and seller what? Seller TDS. I can't find TDS. There's too much thing going on. I'm going to type in for TDS. Okay. So all this is possible requirements for your company to close. You can add as much as you want. You can also add, I know that when I was at Berkshire Hathaway there has their own required forms that they need every transaction to fill out. So you can also request that if you have any forms you want to add in here, or your company has some kind of required forms that the buyer or seller needs in every transaction. So you can put it in a template, right? So this is all the forms that you might need to close this transaction. So you put all the forms into this listing contract here, and now you have a template. So you can create one for purchase, you can create one for commercial, you can create one for land, you can create one for whatever it is, okay? So how do you use this? Let's say I'm gonna create a new transaction. Okay, and it's gonna be a new listing. And we're gonna put in the property address is 123 East Valley Boulevard in San Gabriel, California. Okay, and it's a residential, right? And it's your listing, but you haven't really got MLS Connect because you haven't been on the MLS, you haven't uploaded to MLS yet. So on the bottom it says residential active, select my template. So you come here, you click this. We have Keller Williams listing, right? The one we just created as a template just now. And I'm gonna click save. So this is a 123 East Valley Boulevard, a listing that we just created using our template. So using that template, that means all the forms that we have created in the template should be here. You guys see that? Okay. So you don't have to call the forms out anymore from all forms, right? You can add, but you have the basics that is required from your company to close this transaction. So are you guys okay with templates? Jeannie? Chu? Okay, so if no question, let's take about 10 minutes break and we'll come back at 11:10. When we come back at 11:10, we're going to talk about doc inbox. We're going to talk a little bit about task, and then we're going to do our wonderful e-signature and touch sign and all that wonderful things that we do, I hope. Let me get my iPad out. I have a question. Hold on just a second. Okay, thank you, Jeannie. Thank you for replying to me. Okay, let's take a 10 minutes break. Okay, I'm gonna mute that one. Okay, everybody. Okay, we don't have any more echo, right? Because I had the iPad on.
No, we're
Okay,
good now.
okay, great, thanks. Okay, let's continue. I'm trying to mute this thing. I can't mute it. Hold on just a second. It's kind of annoying, the sound. We're gonna teach it on smart tablets. That's why I had to turn on my other iPad. Okay, welcome back. I hope everybody had a great 10 minutes break. I did. Let's move forward with, before we move forward, I wanna show you that we started with this templates with the 123 East Valley Boulevard. It's right here. And we are purchasing 224 West Leslie Drive. And before I forget, before we move on, is I want to show you that we do have something called text overflow. What is text overflow? It's actually a very interesting thing that a realtor requested, you guys requested. Apparently you feel that there's not enough space to text the some items that you want to share, but you feel that the space was very limited. It happens in only a couple items. One of them is here. I'll show you where it is on the contract. Additional financing terms. You feel that the two-line item is not enough. Sometimes you want to write a lot. So we give you a text overflow there, and also here other terms. 4 items is not enough. You want to type more and more and more. So if you do that, it just keep on texting. You don't have to stop. We have additional text overflow for you so you can type. And when the contract print out, there will be a text overflow contract. And it's an invisible contract. You can't call it out from all forms, but it will attach to other terms when you guys text overflow. And the buyer and seller had to sign it to acknowledge that this is a text overflow from the contract. So I hope you guys understand that, okay? And if you see that, you can always select who you want to. These vendor pay money to be on this. You can also do Snap, My NHD disclosure. So this is a choice that you can put in. The other place that you can put in is the homeowner warranty, okay? If you click on the home warranty, you have all these home warranty available. You can select one or the other. And I always text in the agent's name just in case the agent doesn't get the credit for it, okay? So you can click Old Republic Home Protection, Fidelity, American Home Shield, anybody. You just click it, it's here, okay? All right, so let's go. Before we move on, I know that you guys want to learn so much about this zipForm Plus. 3 hours sometimes is really not enough because we have so much things to cover. Okay, let's go back to list. Before we come to do the e-signature, I want to talk to you guys about Doc Inbox. Okay, Doc Inbox comes in documents and offers. Okay, so what I like to do is on the documents. What it is that you can park. It's like a parking lot. Think of Doc Inbox as a parking lot. So you can park all your forms here, and then you can transfer out to your transaction. You can add documents from your computer. You can move to transaction. You can copy transaction. You can print it out. You can email. You can preview a doc. You can download. You can delete. You can email to Doc Inbox. You see here it says my inbox address is linkchild947 at doxziplogic.com. So if you want to email, like saying someone sent you a home inspection report and you want to have them set, instead of saying save the file and then upload to your transaction here as zipForm, you can email it to yourself. So you can compose the email, or you can come here and just copy email address and send it inside, forward all the email to this email address. When you do that, it'll show up here. All your files are showing up here. And from here, you can decide if you want to move the transaction. If you want to move the transaction, they'll ask you which transaction you want to move. Let's say I want to move this transaction. I'm going to click highlight and I'm going to say next. And they ask you which transaction do you want to move to? I want to move to 123 East Valley Boulevard. I have no idea what that transaction is. I don't remember. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my transaction. And that was 123 East Valley Boulevard we moved to. And I'm going to here. And that particular form is here. Okay, that we just moved. You can also open up a new window on this one, but we don't want to. It's the same thing. It tells you what happened. It was moved here, what date. You can change the name of this particular transaction. It's a residential lease month to month. So here we can always edit detail. Instead of name, we're going to change to lease month to month. We're going to save it. And now the name is changed to lease month to month. You guys see that? So it's actually a pretty good thing. A lot of people like to use it. I like to use it because I don't have to save it to my computer and then upload. I can always just do the email into my doc inbox parking lot and then transfer to my transaction. Are you guys okay with this? Okay. Every transaction, you can always add document to it. You can browse for document. You can create a placeholder. You can add forms. You can add add from Dropbox, Google Drive, your Box, your OneDrive. You can just transfer into the transaction. Remember, I told you there's an unlimited transaction that you can put in. There's no limit on the storage. Okay. You can create a folder. You can create like saying that this is from seller, this is from buyer. You can create a folder. Let's say we create a folder for disclosures. Okay, we can okay it. And I just create a folder, disclosure. From here, you can drag and pull it here. Let's say we're gonna pull it into disclosure. So disclosure now has statewide and buyer's advisory. Did I lose anybody on this? We're okay, right? So you can create folders, you can move, you can add the templates, you can add templates in here if you like to, if you have more than one template. We just created one for listing. But you can, if you have other disclosures you want to add it in, you're welcome to. And of course, we can print, send, save, download, preview, doc, and everything you want. And you can change it to line, or you can change it to cubicle. Okay, so on this particular transaction, I don't want to do anything. Let's go to the purchase one that we have purchased for Mr. Albert. Okay, and we also have you can set up here, you have parties, you have document, you have checklist. Let's say we can create checklist. We have the data contract, we have listing date, and you can add calendar. You can say on this particular day, something's going to happen, or on this particular day, something's going to happen. You can say, okay, date is, so we sent out the offer today. They have 3 days to think about. So 1, 2, 3. So we can say, and you can set its category, whatever the category you want. Due date, is it fixed? Is it none? Is it required? You can put yes or no. Responsible parties. You can assign the party who is supposed to do this. Okay, is it you? Is it buyer or listing agent or me? So pretty much it's me, because I would know that this is due, right? You don't. You can say in progress, need to review, complete, whatever you want. Okay, it hasn't started yet. notify the party when it's due. You can notify me when 3 days is up. You can also attach documents. You can select existing documents and browse for new documents or create a placeholder, and you can save it. So I have saved it. You guys can see that here it says offer expired, right? You can have a board of things that to do, calendar, checklist, right? I just created one. And you can have set status, change due date, assign. Who do you want to assign this task to? You have new checklists, you can export, you can delete, you can email, you can mark it as urgent, you know, all those things that you can do. Why does you guys want it? Because some agent requested. What is good about it is that when the offer is accepted, you can create a checklist saying, oh, okay, there's 10 days contingency, there's 17 contingency here, there's 21 contingency here, or you have an appraisal done this day, who's responsible for loan, who's responsible to get the money into escrow. Why is it good? You can email it to your client. You can tell the seller, hey, buyer is supposed to do this after we accept it, this certain day, this is what we're supposed to do. This is a day that we're going to close escrow. This is a day that they're going to do a walkthrough. Seller likes it. Seller likes to know what the date that they're expecting. So seller would know, let's say we're closing on December 31st and there's no +3 day for seller to move out. So by December 31st, you can tell seller, you have to get ready to move by a certain date, okay? All this is set in a calendar for your seller or escrow, whoever it is. So people like it. Some people like it, okay? Are you guys okay with that? Okay, so we also have notes. You can write yourself notes to remind yourself. You can you can email the notes, you can save it, you can print, you can delete. And we can also check on the history. What I have done today. What did you do today? Or if you have a TC that's working for you, what has TC doing today? Has TC done this? So you can look at the history. Marketplace. This is all the people affiliate that purchase to advertise and to help us. Okay, so this is the marketplace. Okay, so I'm sure everybody's so excited. We're gonna do. Albert's gonna sign the contract. So we're going to go to document. You can do e-signature from here. You can go into documents. So if I click e-signature from here, from this transaction, it automatically asks you what needs to be done. Purchase contract, right? Albert needs to sign purchase contract. Okay. Or we can go back to transaction and go from this and go from documents. And we're going to click e-signature here. Okay, and it says there's nothing here. So we're going to click new, and it's going to be Digital Ink 2.0 is the first one we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about DocuSign later. Digital Ink 2.0 is free. DocuSign is a fee. Okay, and you can also add other documents to it too if you like. So you can select document to be included. You can add external document to be signed. Let's say you want to add a purchase, escrow instruction, or other disclosures that your company needs. You want them to sign it right now. You can do that. Okay. And then you're going to click next. So who's going to sign it? I'm going to sign it. Albert's going to sign it. I'm going to sign it as a selling agent. And Albert's going to sign it as a buyer. I'm going to use my email address so I could see it. And you can add names if you want later on. Okay. You can add signer. You can add a reviewer. If you want somebody to review your file before it goes out, you're welcome to do that. And you can do a signing order. You can do I sign first and Albert sign second. If you don't click that, that means everybody gets it. Okay? So everything will go out at once. Albert will get his copy. I will get my copy. Or you want to do a signing order, which I sign first, then Albert signs second. So I prefer this way, so I know that the actual signature has gone out. Email is very important in signing by e-signature. If you have your email address wrong, it'll be lost in cyberspace somewhere. So just know that this is important to have email address. And why am I using my email address and Albert's for Albert and I is because Albert is not going to be signing. I can't find Albert. Just call Albert. Albert, can you sign this for me? So you probably ask, is this legal? Well, in the real world, I really can't answer that because I won't want the same person sign 2 times. I would like to have 2 email addresses. But do I know the email address is correct? Let's say I'm sending to Fawn, but Fawn give me an email address. I don't know who it is. Do I know is Fawn really signing it? I don't know. But in the name will be Fawn's name, right? Do you really know who's signing on the other end? I don't know. But will it be protected? We have a form at escrow. They will say, hey, you're signing by virtual signature, and they have to sign that. The people, the buyer and the seller usually have to sign it if they're using e-signature signatures. Last time I checked, and I don't know if I'm correct, okay, but last time I checked that short sale cannot be e-signature. And when you're buying a bank-owned property, you cannot do e-signature, but could be changed by now. So don't quote me on that. And if you still feel uncomfortable about it because they're signing e-signature, everybody's doing e-signature now because of COVID, right? So a lot of people are signing e-signature. They don't want you to go in person. But does escrow still have to have what signature for loan? When that happens, maybe you can ask escrow to attach the purchase contract and have the buyer sign it again. But seller doesn't sign it. So is that necessary? I don't know. I think about it, as long as they have that sheet signed from escrow saying they're all doing digital signatures, online signatures, that's okay, I guess. But because so many things are changed of COVID, maybe things are changed on the in-person signature as well. But if the seller is selling the property and you don't know who signed it on the other side, they have to sign the grantee. They have to be notarized. So that'll be something protect you because the seller is signing the grantee. And same as the buyer because they have to sign the loan docs, right? So I guess it is in a way it is protected. Okay, so I do like to do my first and my buyer second. I would know that it's going. Do you want a cybersecurity protection? You can. Okay, and you can select the option. If you do the SMS, I think it's $5 per transaction. Somebody's asking me a question. Let me look at this question. Do you mean seller agent can sign for buy? Oh, I did not say that, Jeannie. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is just for sample for you guys. Okay, I didn't say that. Don't scare me. Don't quote me too. Okay. That's not a good statement. Okay, I would get sued. I did not say that, but I'm showing you as a class purpose because Albert is not here, and I can't find Albert to sign. Okay, so you can use the security option. You can CC list. This is something new. You can CC yourself, the carbon copy. Use the button below to add others you wish to automatically receive a copy of signed documents upon completion of the signature package. First name, last name, and email of the person is required. So you can CC your broker, you can CC your transaction coordinator, you can CC your assistant, or you can CC the escrow company once it's complete. So you can carbon copy a list. This is new, by the way, okay? You can change your time zone. We're in California, so we're in this time zone. Wait a second, I'm not in this time zone. I'm in Pacific time zone. So you can do all that. And then you go next. 2 more questions. Hold on. So this is new. The 2.0 is new. Okay. When you first time sent out contract for signature, you should have Albert's name here, my name here automatically. Okay. So if it's a second time that goes out, after it come back, I want to send it out again, you have to drag and drop. So here we are, we have the signer, me and Albert. You can click it open, Albert, okay? So it's automatically there already, Albert. And time zone is, time, date is automatically here. As you guys can see, it's automatically there because it's the first time. The second time around, it's not gonna be here. So you guys see that all there? What's option? Oh, we don't want that. Okay, so we're okay. We're gonna send it out. We're gonna click next. Okay, you have successfully completed the creation of the signing. To change email address signing, okay, we're gonna send invitation. You can custom the email subject to text. So you can say, so-and-so, please sign, so-and-so, please sign, okay? I'm not gonna custom, I'm gonna just send out the invitation to show you guys what it looks like. So thank you for using digital ink. And I'm gonna open up my email. So we have created a signature package 1 on date for 2 signers. So here it won't see that, but if you go to e-signature, it says in progress, right? So if you have any problem with this, you can always go open it up. It shows that I am one and Albert is the other one. You can also add a signer here, and we're signing the purchase agreement. You could check the email. You could edit the signer and edit. You can edit the email address if you feel the email address is incorrect here, and you can delete as well. Okay, and you can view the detail history. So it's in progress. So I'm gonna go to my email. Okay, here you go. Your signature is requested. It's here. Hello, Ling Chow. Is inviting you to participate as a sign-in party. So I'm gonna start. Okay, so here is me. And do you want to draw? You can draw if you have a pen, your computer has a pen, you can always draw your signature. You can select the font. I like this one better. I'm gonna save it. And make sure that you tell your client you have to accept, okay? Always accept. And we're gonna start signing. All you do is click, 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 I complete. Okay, it says, thank you. You have successfully reviewed and signed. I'm good. Okay, so now where's it gonna go? It's going good. Okay, Zip Community is something that you want to set up with your client. You can set up with your buyer, seller, agent, and then you guys can talk on the community together. And you can create a password, you can invite them. and you guys can do all the talking and reviewing the files together on this particular transaction. Okay, so I'm going to go back. You have to refresh the page. Sometimes it doesn't come up, okay? So we're going to go to document, and we're going to check the e-signature status. So it's in progress. I completed. I'm good. Okay, so we're going to go see Albert's. And now it says Albert, right? So hello, Albert. Tran Ling Chao is inviting you to participate in the signing. So Albert's going to start. And this is actually much better. The 2.0 is better than 2.1. 1, oh, I'm sorry. 1.0 is terrible. 2.0 is good. Before it was a lot of headache. You had to sign in, you had to do this, you had to do that. You had to say accept, accept, accept before you can sign. I think this is a much easier. To 2.0 is much easier. Okay, so Albert can select or draw his signature. Let's give Albert a beautiful signature. Oh, I think the first one is beautiful, the script. Okay, so I'm gonna say Albert is good and Albert is gonna accept. So Albert has a lot to sign, right? So we're gonna start Albert. I wonder if Albert's ear is itching because I'm calling his name so much today. And he doesn't know he's buying a property. Okay, so the liquidation damage and the arbitration is option. The buyer can opt out. Okay, but we always highly recommend them to click the liquidation damage and arbitration. So we're going to ask Albert to click accept. Accept. And here. And then page 10, everybody forget. Buyer, I don't know why they always forget that one, even though it's marked there. Okay, so Albert has completely signed. Hey, now we have Albert's signature and my signature. So let me ask you guys, why do you think I always have myself sign first? Me is only because I feel that if we have Albert, I sign first, and then by the time Albert gets a copy, because I want to make sure that this is starting, right? So by the time Albert gets a copy, he'll get an email saying that this is complete, and it will have my name on it already, right? So Albert can get a copy of the form. So let's look at it, and then now it says complete. We can open it up, and it says that now it's complete. And we're gonna go back to our documents. It's supposed to show up here of our assigned documents, but it didn't show up. So I guess we had to go here to look at it. So here it is. So we open up this. I'm trying to refresh so it come back. It will show up. I can't open up the file. This is 2.0. I just say how wonderful 2.0 is. It doesn't show up. Okay, let me show you what's supposed to show up, okay? It'll have a signature packet, like a file like this. Any signature package that's signed will come up like this. Okay, another signature package if it's signed. So when you open up, you have like DocuSign, whatever it was signed. So let's go back, see if it shows up again, because this one didn't show up. Oh, here it goes. Here it is. Okay, so from here, we have the fully executed contract that Albert and I signed, not fully executed, between him and me. Okay, so here we have the signature, Albert beautiful signature, and my Good looking signature. Right, with the date. They have the date here. It's hard to see, but there is a date signature here. So Albert signed it, I signed it. You can now send this one out by email to the listing agent, right? You can say, I want to send it to her, and the form would make sure you CC yourself, right? And then you can say, hi, this is my listing contract. I mean, my purchase agreement for your listing, subject to your property address, and you can send it out. Okay, so this is the first time that we're sending out, right? Let's say we want to send out this particular contract again. We could do that. So you can do another e-signature from this contract. Okay, and you can do digital ink again. This time, just do me, so I'll show you what's it like, okay? And we're gonna do next. You can add signer, you can add reviewer, you can CC the list. When it's full, you can also CC the list to the listing agent before, but maybe you wanna look at it before you send it out, make sure it's A-okay. So remember, this is the second time it's going out, not the first time, right? So we need to tell me where to sign. So we need to click and drag, click and drag. Because this time is only one signer I put in, right? So I'm gonna put in, okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna put like sign here, or I could put initial here. I could put group initial, signer's name, initial page. I can put text, like I wanna text something. I would say like, hello, where do I text it? Oh, here. I would say it doesn't work here. How do you text this thing? So you see what I'm talking about? Like you can drag and then put the, okay, you can put the signer. You could put X initial, I don't know what this is. Initial group, X mark, opt out, and then of course text, but I don't know how do you put text? It won't write. See, it won't let me text it. Okay, let me, so you guys get the idea. The second time around, you had to drag and drop. Okay, so I'm gonna spend more time on the other one, the DocuSign. Okay, so let's go back. Let's say Albert needs to sign a disclosure. Let's just do a very small piece of paper so we don't have to go crazy. Water heater, smoke detector. Okay, so Albert needs to sign this one, right? And this time I'm going to use DocuSign. For the people who has DocuSign, instead of doing digital 2.0, I'm going to click up and down and I'm going to select DocuSign. If you have a DocuSign account, they'll ask you to put in your DocuSign login, your ID and password. Because I have a DocuSign account, I'm going to go straight to DocuSign. And Albert's going to sign, right? I'm going to close it. DocuSign is very straightforward. That's why the original digital ink 1.0 was not as good. So everybody was buying the DocuSign. Okay, so you can add signer if you like, but we're not going to add signer. We're going to go next. Everybody okay so far? Did I lose anybody? So because it's the first time, right? So everything is here. We don't need to drag or anything, but you can do that too if you like. But right now we don't because it's all here. They signed where it is, so we're gonna send. I think I just did a very stupid thing and closed my Gmail. So here it is. It says Ling Chao has sent you a document review, dear Albert, right? Allowed. Okay, all you have to do is continue, click, and click. And Albert is done. Pretty fast, huh? A little bit easier. And there is complaint on our free signature that overseas they can't open it. So I don't know why they say that, but I think a lot of people are able to do that. But DocuSign, you won't have any problem. So we're going to go back to zipForm. And we're going to go back. And we're going to check our e-signature that Albert has created signing this particular by DocuSign. See, it has how they sign it. Okay, and then we're going to go back on a transaction. It didn't show up again. Oh, they're very slow today. Still didn't show up. Something is very slow today. Okay, we can come back and find it. But let's say if you have escrow instruction or prelim that you had to approve, or home inspection, or any paperwork that the client has to sign, but it's not RCR form. Can you do e-signature? Yes, you could. All you have to do is add the document, you browse the file, and you browse the file from, let's look at the, I don't know what file I can share with you guys. Okay, let's say tenants estoppel. I don't even know what that is. I don't even remember what that file is. If you see something you're not supposed to see, don't look at it. Okay, so here's a tenant estoppel. Oh, that's not a right file to see. I'm sorry, I'm going to delete that. Okay, anyway, you can add the doc. I'm trying to find a document that you guys can see so we can sign it together. I lost people again. Why is everybody leaving me? I'm gonna cry soon. Okay, so we're gonna sign this one. And this is not our CR form, right? So we have a termite. So we can sign. We click sign. You can do by digital ink. Let's do digital ink because it's free. Not many of you have DocuSign. So we're gonna go next. Who's gonna sign it? Let's say Albert's gonna sign it, right? We're gonna say okay. Of course, you can add signer, add reviewer, and CC list to whoever it is you need. And then we're gonna go next. So this is a form outside of CR, and Albert needs to sign. So we're gonna drag and put the signature here or there, whatever it is. And maybe initial here. Right? And then we're gonna go and put another initial somewhere. Here it is. Albert's gonna have to sign here. Okay. This is interesting. It doesn't, okay. So Albert's gonna sign, right? So we're gonna say next. And we're gonna send Albert invite. Okay, so this is the one that we started with Albert that he has to sign. So we're gonna click here, initial sign, and we complete. You can stay and review. So Albert is gonna get an email saying you have complete. I mean, if you refresh the page, hasn't come yet. Very slow. It's completed, but it hasn't come to our document section. So are you guys okay? Any question about this? Everybody okay? Are you guys still there? So the water heater came. The one that we signed, the termite hasn't come yet. They're pretty slow today. Okay, so are you guys okay? Because I want to share with you on touch sign the next half an hour. Okay, I guess somebody telling me something, which is nice. Okay, Christina Fu says, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we're gonna go into touch sign. I'm gonna stop sharing this one. I'm gonna come on from another iTab, okay? Can you guys see me? Okay. I muted this one. Is there echo?
No, no echo.
Okay, I'm gonna start sharing screen. Okay. Wait a second, what happened? Okay, so we have in our my iPad, your smart tablet. If you have smart tablets, you go to Google Play, and for the iPad people, you go to Apple Store, and in Apple Store you can tap search or Google Play, and you're gonna tap put in zipForm. Okay, and you're gonna download the zipForm mobile companion. And I have downloaded before, so I'm gonna open it up. Not the zipForm mobile, but zipForm mobile companion. And you're gonna log in from how you set up the car.org. Okay, you're not gonna log in from your WSGVR website, or you're gonna use CAR credential. When you open it up, you guys saw that was a zipForm credential. That's not what you want. You want to click that and change it to CAR credential. And put in your username, your password, and that's where you're going to come in. Are we guys okay with that? I lost one person. Don't know where they went. Okay, so here we are. This is my transaction, and I'm going to click transaction. So we worked on 224 West Leslie and 123 East Valley. You guys see that? It's all here, right? Everything that we have done on 224 West Leslie Drive, I'm going to put it down because it's too tiring for me. Okay, so I'm going to open up the documents. As you can see, it's coming up. It's a delay. Okay, we had the signature package. We had the water heater, smoke detector. We had the termite that we just signed that we couldn't see it before, but here we're going to open up. I'm going to open up the termite that Albert signed. So it's all here, very fast, right? It had done from my desktop to my iPad just because I opened it. So if you use the desktop version from your computer, this will never happen, by the way. Okay. I'm going to do 123 East Valley Boulevard, and I'm going to show you guys how to do touch sign. I don't know, can you guys see me or no? Okay, we're going to open up the documents. We're going to do the listing agreement. We didn't do the cover sheet. Let's go back to do the cover sheet so it's easier for all of us. You always have to have, for anything to work, you always have to use their email address. If there's no email address, it doesn't work, okay? Create an email address. Don't say I say that. It's not, I'm tapping it, it's not working. I don't know why it's not letting me, oh, forget it. Okay, forget it. Let's go back, let's not do this transaction because I had to do the cover sheet. Let's go back to the other transaction we had, which is the Leslie Avenue. Leslie Drive. Because it's all done there. Okay, so we're gonna open up the documents. Let's add a very easy form. Let's do a lead paint. Even though we don't need it. But here it goes. I tap it again. I'm doing all the transaction on my iPad right now, not on my desktop. So I just added the lead-based paint and lead-based paint hazardous. I'm going to open it up. Okay, so why do we need touch sign? If you have your iPad with you or your smart tablet with you and you're in, I always say Temecula, which is 80 miles away from San Gabriel, and you saw a property, you're with the client, and you guys are, he loves it, he wants to write an offer. And you call the listing agent and says, oh, we're interested, is it still available? Can we send you an offer? And the listing agent says, you better send it to me now because I have so much multiple offer and get it to me as fast as you can. Do you drive all the way from Temecula back to Los Angeles, San Gabriel, to write up an offer? Or can you go and find a place that maybe like Starbucks has free internet for you to work? So you're with your client, you guys are doing you guys are sitting there drinking drinks and try to write this offer. So client doesn't have a computer, right? And you have a tablet. You can do touch sign. So client, all they have to do is just write. So on this one, I'm going to do tap sign. So I'm going to go up to e-signature. Because now I'm on my tablet, my iPad, I'm going to click. You see the signing services? I'm going to open up and down. If you see that now we have not only Digital Ink 1.0, we have DocuSign, we have Digital Ink 2.0. We also have a thing called touch sign. So I'm going to open up the touch sign. Okay. And I'm going to click next. So who's going to sign? Albert, right? So we're going to put Albert. It's not letting me tap Albert's name. What is going on here? Okay, here we go. I'm going to close. Right now I'm using my finger. This is all I'm using, just my finger, okay? I'm going to click next. So now they're asking you legal consent. All you had to do is click on the bottom, says I agree. Okay. So Albert is going to sign. How is Albert going to sign this form? Albert's going to use Albert's finger. Okay. And on the left, it says sign, right? So I'm going to click sign. And this is tap to sign. You guys see that? I'm going to tap to sign. I'm going to write with my finger. My finger, okay? Not too good, but I wrote Albertron. Okay, and I'm going to click select. So now Albert name is there. I don't know whether you can see it, but there is a little arrow going up and down. Let me see if I just moved it. I know it's a couple seconds delay. Okay, so you guys see there's a Chris sign on top of Albert's name. I'm gonna hold that, I'm gonna drag it to where Albert's name is supposed to be. You guys see that? But it looks pretty large, right? But if you look at the bottom where the pen is, there's a little triangle, 1, 2, 3 lines. I'm gonna hold that down. Oh, where'd it go? I'm gonna hold it down and change the size. It won't let me. Okay, here we go. Do you guys see I changed the size just by holding it down? A couple seconds delay. It's very, very sensitive. You guys see that? I'm changing the size of Albert's signature. So I'm gonna put it there, okay? And I'm gonna click sign. So Albert's name is there. I'm gonna put a date. You guys see that? I'm gonna add date. Gonna go down. There's another one for Albert. I'm gonna drag a little bit and then maybe make it a little smaller. But okay, so that little triangle thing is hard to drag, to be honest with you. It's it doesn't like me very much. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna put it on the line. I'm gonna click sign. I'm gonna add the date. I'm gonna change the size of the date because it's a bigger than I want to. But that little triangle thing, it doesn't like me. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna add date. So now Albert has signed it. You guys see that? Any question? Are you guys okay? So now it's all done. On the top right corner, it says done. I'm gonna click done. And I'm gonna say participant signer will be sent the signed document. We're gonna click okay. Now it says signature complete. However, what do you mean failed? Let me see what happens. Why did it say I failed? Jeez. Okay, let me go back. See what happens. This is complete. Okay, we completed the signature, but I don't know why it's so slow to show up in your transaction. Let's go out and refresh it again. Go into documents. It still doesn't show up. Let me go back to my desktop versus my iPad. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing here, and then maybe we can see it better. Too busy with 2 different items. Okay, let's go back to share screen. Why? Oh, here it is. Okay, so this was done by touch sign. You guys see that? Pretty easy, huh? Not too much trouble. And of course, you can always send this one out by another different way of signing. You could do digital ink, DocuSign, or digital ink 2.0. But the touch sign will not be here because it's not on the tablet. This is back to regular notebook. Okay, I know I give you a lot of information today, and this is just using how to use zipForm Plus. You have to kind of absorb it. And then of course, you can also go to Learning Set Help. Under Help, you have the Learning Center. And you have support material, live training. There's many live trainings, and they're in Eastern time, okay? Just make sure that you know that. But there's many trainings. Okay. And I also want to show you we have help support on the bottom here that you can call zipForm. You can contact them. Okay, so you have customer care. Here's the telephone number. It's 24 hours per day, but I think they do shorten an hour if it's holiday hours. But you're welcome to call for customer support and just giving your login information from your website. I think they ask you for some kind of ID. I think it's either your WS or your DRE license number. But that's how you look at it. And there's a lot of support because even 3 hours, I don't think we can cover everything. So it's always good to look at this again on the help. This session has been recorded, and I think that Fawn will send out a recorded section to you guys. And Jeannie asked to do transaction. Do we teach to do transaction? Is that what you're asking? We don't do on the zipForm. We don't do a form transaction. Usually it's taught by your company, or we do have forms classes coming up maybe next year, but not this year. This year is pretty much done. We had form classes, I think, this year. So this is where we are with the zipForm. Is there any other question you guys want to ask me before we go? Are you guys okay? I know it's a lot of things to put in 3 hours. Trust me, I know. So especially the new ones, new babies, practice. Okay, I pretty much did all the transactions information with you guys. I think I did. If I miss anything, I apologize. And try to look at the live one or call the customer care center. Okay, if that, hold on, I have a chat. Hold on, let me look at it before I go. Why change the loan book? Changing all the time make more time to do transaction. No, actually it's the same thing. They just changed the company name. CER&NR used to own zipForm. They sold it to Lone Wolf. So right now the terms is still free to us, but we don't know. I think it was supposed to change in 2022 or 23. So by that time, we might have a charge. We don't know yet, but right now, as of right now, it's free. It's member benefit to you guys. Pauline, thank you. You're always here when I teach. I appreciate that. Is there anything else you guys want to ask? If not, we're going to close shop. You know, it's very hard to talk to yourself for 3 hours. Okay, guys, it's very hard. I'm looking at a screen talking and I don't know who's there. So I don't see you guys and I don't know if you guys are there or not, but have a Thanks. Great Thanksgiving. Enjoy. And breakfast meeting is live back on December 3rd, Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. And this time we have a CAR legal, I'm sorry, political lady that come out and tell us about the election throughout the state. And I think that will be a great conversation if you guys want to join via Zoom. And thank you very much. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it and doing a Thanksgiving week. So goodbye, good luck, enjoy, have fun with zipForm, and bye.